Okay, welcome to Billy Coaching Live. Such a pleasure to be with you again today. Today I have the pleasure to have Ana Hueni with us. She's a professional coach and she specializes in the mental health. So I'm so excited to have you, Ana, today.
Thank you so much for the invitation, Christine. I really appreciate you and I appreciate this invitation. And I was just telling you that it's not a coincidence that we have the mental awareness days these days. So thank you for hosting this discussion. And I hope this will be very helpful for your audience.
Excellent. So really wonderful and a very good coincidence, right? So for those who are new, for you may be on YouTube, on Twitter, or LinkedIn. Welcome to all of you. I'm a professional coach. I specialize in influencing, and I have the pleasure, as I said, to have these weekly interviews or panels with leaders and experts in the field of leadership. And we like to approach leadership from different lenses, right? And so don't hesitate. This is really an open discussion. Don't hesitate to share your question or your comments. I will see them and I will integrate them so that as part of our discussion. So I want to introduce further Ana before we start the discussion. So she's a happiness and burnout prevention coach. She's also she supports entrepreneurs and C-levels to achieve goals using mirroring and curiosity. So I'm sure she will tell us more about these two approaches. And she's passionate about mentoring, supporting NGOs and professional women. So welcome again.
Thank you so much, Christine.
So a question I like to ask as a start is really being in curiosity here. How can you share with us how you became a coach?
Yeah, actually, it's not a coincidence that I'm specialized in mental health because it all started when I realized I had a burnout. I was doing my MBA at HSL Lausanne in 2017, and we had this capstone project about burnout. It was an MBA, but still we had the opportunity to work as a team, and we did that. And looking at this project, I realized, I had a period in my life when I was paralyzed physically, emotionally, everything was not working. I had to stay in bed, recover. So I was just reflecting back at those days when nobody could give me any kind of reason why my body just stopped working. And well, I said, this shouldn't happen to other people. So I just felt it was my mission exactly in that moment to do something about it, not just think it. So I just took action and I said, okay, what I have to do. These are the steps. And this is how I went to school back. I went to become a professional coach, and I studied 2 years. I took my certification, and it's really a pleasure because I'm also I'm also working in the corporate world for many years, and I feel this is connected to my true mission of giving. I feel like I need to give back, and you're a coach as well, so probably
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that. It's very touching. And yes, absolutely, I can really connect with that because I think it's not by chance that we get to do something, right? It's we have experience in life, and it's all about how we take this experience. Do we use that as an opportunity, to move forward, right? To contribute to in parentheses, let me know if you agree with that, to a better world, right? So this aspect of preventing for others what has happened to us is often a great way to move away from traumatic experience and then to find you find your vision, your mission based on what makes sense for you.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And I just realized how many I was practicing coaching for years because I'm in sales, I'm in marketing. I love people. I love connecting to people, and that was a great addition to being open and listening rather than listening to understand rather than listening to react, to have a reactive, to just think, what is my answer. No, I just listen people. It's really from my true mission that I chose this path. Yeah.
And if you allow me, I would like to take the opportunity because it feels to me that when you are talking about listening, you are talking about listening to your body as well, right?
Yeah.
And making the link between the head and the heart, as we say. It's like your body stopped to work at some point, so there was a message for you and you started to listen because we for most of us, right, we are trying to use our head a lot, also our muscles for sure, but and sometimes we forget the body has a lot to say.
Exactly. Yeah. So unfortunately, we use the head and the logical part of our body like more than 90% of the time, and that's why we ignore everything that our body is telling us. That's why we have a very big rate of burnout, especially now after COVID or still during COVID, because some countries still have restrictions, because we separated our body, our heart from our brains. So we just if we don't find the facts there, if we don't have everything backed by science, we just kind of ignore whatever the body is telling us, whatever our emotions are telling us. Or we hear in organizations, oh, your emotions do not matter, don't come crying to me, or you cannot do that. And that's a very important part of recognizing signs of burnout, exhaustion, anxiety, all these mental health problems.
So I believe you make really a very nice connection with the topic of today, which is mental fatigue. Because if we ignore half of ourselves, right? The intuition, what the body says, then we tend to rely on the other part, and then comes the fatigue because, and I'm sure you will elaborate more on that. The brain uses a lot of energy. So so can you maybe tell us more about what do you mean when you are talking about mental fatigue? What is this fatigue about?
Yeah. So the mental fatigue is when we are feeling really drained out, when we are worn out due to prolonged stress build up. And this really happens, as you said, Christine, if we do not pay attention to our body, to our emotions, to our heart, to our stomach that contains all these maybe more neurons that in our brain. And all these mental fatigue, so packed like with all these symptoms, will affect our well-being, our productivity, and basically all the aspects of our life. And also what I want to emphasize here when I'm talking about what mental fatigue is that it's coming gradually. So it's not just one thing that is causing it. It's incremental, and it's accumulated small factors that really let's say drive you into this fatigue.
Yes. So what from your experience what happens for us to not recognize what happens gradually, step by step?
I guess, yeah, it's the fact that we have too much on our plates. It's just this world where we have too many roles, we have too many responsibilities, we take too many decisions, we have too many interruptions. Yeah, also with the commercial, with the TV, with the screens. We are on our screens from the moment that we wake up till the moment that we fell asleep. Some of us, fell asleep with the handy, with the mobile phone as well. And also the workload that we have, that is really, sometimes we feel like it's unmanageable. Yeah, so it's really unmanageable. And when you look at all these factors, um, you are looking basically at factors that will drive the person that is feeling really depleted of all the life energy, because has no time to go to the nature, to, or doesn't even feel the value there. Lack of performance, brain fog, exhaustion from everything, and even sometimes insomnia. um, then if you do not recognize these factors, if you're not really aware of them, you are just driving yourself into burnout, yeah, or other more serious mental health issues.
So, would you say that um, this focus on being busy is
Yeah,
a root cause or a consequence? Um, because or both actually, right? So one may ask himself or herself, is it because I am busy, that you know what I mean? It's a root cause,
yeah.
or do I want to avoid some emotions or some connection with myself? So,
Yeah, you mean if
always
you're
just
if
select
we
it.
intentionally do that, or if we are tricked
Mhm.
into this world, right, of
Yeah.
work, sleep, and eat, and it's like a vicious circle, like a hamster wheel, right? Um, yeah, I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest.
Mhm.
I'm just looking at my story, at myself,
Mhm.
and if I remember these times I think more than 10 years ago, I had my burnout. I was caring for my father who was ill. I was working full time. I didn't want to miss anything. I was going out with friends, very young age, in my 30s, before my 30s actually. I wanted to do everything. I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to do my MBA in the same time. I wanted uh, to keep everything here, at the very high rate.
Mm.
And of course, I didn't have time to recharge. I didn't think like, what is recharging? I had no information. Also, of course, today we have more access to information, but it's a little bit both, because especially the young generation, they are pushed, and they have this picture of success. We are being sold like, career, family. You have to have this model. This is the model in social media, or the organizations also show you like, oh, you have this position, then you will be promoted, you have a career plan, and so on. And sometimes it's very hard to stop and think like, who am I?
Mm.
uh, what is the most important thing in my life? And of course, if you're thinking like that, you realize it's you, and you only have one health and one life, and you also have to take care of yourself. And
Mm.
like, how easy to stop and say like, would it be very, very bad to put myself first in my life? And how do I do that? I mean, you can start a day with, you can wake up 30 minutes earlier. You can like do things for yourself, do some exercise, do some meditation. 30 minutes routine is not much, but in terms of time is not much, but is a lot for your self-esteem, for your body, for your health, for, you know, the connection with your body, the connection with your heart, the connection with your intuition, which is like, you know, this gut feeling. And you can connect very simple, you know, through yoga, to meditation, and, you know, just being aware of the whole picture, the whole person that you are, and being more than just, you know, career plan or just things that happen, in your professional life. So we are more than just, you know, a person in the professional life.
This is so nicely said, and it reminds me when I was young, my grandmother was saying, "Take it easy,
Yeah.
don't think so much," you know, this type of thing, and I would say, "Oh, what are you talking about?" Right? And
Yeah.
literally, and you know, later in my life, when I was preparing my PhD, and I was at the end of it, and I was under stress, you know, can I make it happen, this type of thing, working very hard, you know, weekends, evening, etc. And then I took, you know, 2 days to go to the seaside in France, and then we were there. I was just like looking at the surroundings and say, "Oh, nice," you know, and trying to relax because I was really thinking about my PhD and all of that. And then there was an old guy seated on there and saying, and he looked at me because he was really there, you know, enjoying being there, and you know, it was where he was born, etc. And then, you know, he just said to me, "Oh, look at this, how beautiful is that?" And you know, I think, you know, retrospectively, I believe he was really present. He could feel the tension, the stress I had, and then he was just trying to convey a message. But I remember how bad I felt. I said, "Okay, what's, you know, why does he say this type of thing?" Because I was so focused on achieving something, right?
Yeah.
So that just came back to me, you know, and the fact that you, and for sure as a coach, I mean, you know, I am really grateful for, yeah, as I said, to be a coach, and I've been, you know, to have the training, because I learned to take care about myself, right? Because
Yeah.
I learned to appreciate, to start the day with really doing something for myself, as you say, doing some
Yeah.
meditation and connecting to myself, and before I start my day. So it makes such a big difference, right? Appreciating ourselves first.
It does indeed. And what you mentioned, you know, this rumination is basically one of the major stress reasons, you know, that we cannot. And now I'm also talking about, you know, these COVID times when we kind of worked from home and we lost the healthy barriers between work and personal life. There is none right now. I mean, and we took that with us, and of course it's nice not to have this commute time and maybe pollute less the planet, but from the healthy barriers, you know, healthy stops between our healthy locations. Yeah, so we took the stress and we put it into our houses now with COVID, because we have our children here, we work here, we cook here, we do everything. I mean, this has become our natural environment. And I have a lot of friends, almost everybody's telling me, you know, I work all the time. I work in the weekends, I work in the night. I am, of course, flexible, but flexible means working incredibly much more. So the productivity has risen a lot, but our mental health has declined a lot. So at least in America, which is like the number one country for burnout, and also in India, the rates of burnout, and that's published figures, have overcome 90%. And loneliness, and, you know, going into the causes, I would like also to say that mental fatigue is also more accentuated now, also due to the war with Ukraine. because we see how people suffer. So additionally we have empathy fatigue. So we cannot not be empathetic to what is going on. People are suffering, so we have that on top. We have loneliness on top. We have this pressure, economic pressure right now. Everything is becoming more expensive, so everything is like on top of everything. So if we do not stop the pattern of this hamster wheel and start doing things for ourselves, and just be grateful, be with ourselves, be present, as you said, do some mindfulness. Doesn't mean to have a spiritual practice. It just means to be here right now. Just and Ariana Huffington, one of the biggest advocates of burnout with burnout prevention, was saying, like, guys, just breathe through your day. When you're feeling super anxious, just close your eyes, be there, feel yourself, your body, put your feet on the ground, center yourself, connect with your heart, maybe put your hand on your heart, and just be there, be present. And if you have also extra 30 seconds to feel super grateful for your body, for the sun, for simple things that are like given, any negative emotion cannot exist in the same time with the negative emotion. So you will just change your whole chemistry. Your body chemistry will not be driven by stress, adrenaline, by cynicism, by all these super intense negative emotions that give us energy. Like when you're angry, you're very high here on energy, and you tend to be addicted to this energy. But what about feeling gratefulness, and then you might go or still be here as a level of energy, but being on the opposite side. So really doing something good for your body and putting serotonin in it, just staying 1 second in the sun, enjoying a coffee, enjoying a conversation with a colleague, connecting with other people. So these are all very simple but very effective things to prevent this these fatigues, because there are more, as I said.
Yeah, this is great. And yeah, and I have to say, this is I really enjoy to connect with nature. I have a
Yeah.
garden. I live in a small village, and I had a very intense day, and still I was able to go for 5 minutes in the garden and just walk and look around and smell and look at the birds. And it's spring, so the colors, and and you breathe, and it's like you absorb, you
Yeah.
exchange this energy, this natural energy, and under the sun, and that feels so good. So it's not a question of the time, but it's really the I would say the intensity, right, of how connected you feel with yourself when you meditate and you listen to your body, or when you connect with the environment, which makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly. So the Japanese call it forest bathing, and it's really known in Japan that you have to go to the forest, you have to go to the nature and get this special energy that the plants are giving you, and let yourself feel positive emotions and see the nature, in its true splendor. It's something that you cannot replace. And also looking at green, at the green color, it's very, very good for us as human beings. It helps our eyes relax. So it's really that good feeling of connecting with almost with yourself, right? So it's also something that can give you energy and can support you to have a better mental health, of course. Yeah.
So, and let me know if you agree with that. We could summarize by saying, it's a choice to focus on what makes you feel good, on what you have, what you want, because when you do that, you create a very easy, efficient path towards that. Okay, so because the brain is then helping you to get there compared to focusing on, unfortunately, what doesn't work so well, what you are missing, this type of thing is driving us down.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really this choice, okay, we make, alors, not always intentionally, right? It's like just being aware of that and make the choice,
Exactly, yeah. Just as your phone is saying, making a choice is the moment to make a choice.
Exactly. And
Uh,
I decided not to
it's a
listen,
good,
not
it's
to
a good,
listen to it. I
it's a
love
good,
it, because it's like, there is always things happening in our environment with message. I mean, we can interpret as we want, right? But it's really being intentional in our choices.
exactly, yeah, exactly. So this is the wake up call, I would say. There are so many factors, and we can be aware of who we are, dissociate ourselves from our emotions. From a bad day, as I said, I didn't have the best of the days today, but it's just a day, it will pass. It's absolutely fine.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I would like to, if we, I'm not sure, do we still have a couple of minutes?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Okay, I would just like to give a small, exercise
Mm-hmm.
or advice for the people that are watching us live. Just imagine when you are feeling all these, intense emotions and all these symptoms, of fatigue and of, low productivity, and blame yourself for not being at your peak maybe in one day, or identifying yourself with that bad day or that, mistake that you did at work. How would it be to just imagine the child that you once saw, and close your eyes and imagine that little child that did a mistake, and hug that child, and think about you when you were a child, and how did you look, and touch your hair and feel your face, and you know immediately when you think about you as a small child, you feel this empathy. You feel like, I want to hug myself. I'm just a human being. It's okay. It will pass. And then you can come back to now, to here and now, and see yourself for that child, and giving yourself permission not to be perfect. So that's absolutely okay, not to be perfect, to make mistakes, to have emotions that are coming and are going, and think, what can you do for yourself in this moment, because this is the best moment to do something, and to change that pattern of high negative emotion, addictive negative emotion, to positive emotion, to as you said, Christine, going and doing a moment of gardening, or caressing your pet, or connecting with someone you love, or a colleague. So all these are very valuable advice that could help us break that pattern, and really say, I'm here in my life, I'm present. I'm not just a sum of things I'm doing every day at the same hour, in the same rhythm. And I just love how Dr. Joe Dispenza, for example, talks about us as habits, and habits and emotions that are transforming into who we are at the end. So how is it when we decide to explore another path, and become connected to what we like and what we want in life, and maybe have the chance to discover our true mission, and live let's say a happier life. If we are going to the incremental, like 1%, that is preached by James Clear, in his book. He says, like, if you're doing 1% improvement in just start with one thing, one thing, pick one habit that you'd like to practice today. If you are saying like, I want to do gardening, I want to go outside and look at the sun 1 minute a day, at the end of the year, if you're doing that, you will have 35% improvement in that habit with 1% incremental habits, incremental strategy. So yeah, that's I think that's easy, you know, just looking at a habit, picking one habit and just trying it out, you know, giving yourself permission to also put yourself on the to-do list. And I always tell to my customer, put yourself first. And because that's really possible, and that will sometimes even save your life.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, it's so rich what you just share. Huh? It's um, yeah, being kind with ourselves, not associating, you know, what you are doing to who you are. Okay, it's very different, and giving yourself permission to be human. You know,
Yeah,
and also appreciate that we can't learn without trying. And then when you try, it's pretty rare, you know, from my experience, that you succeed first time. So, you know, also embrace that as a learning. That's part of the game, and there is a lot there. So it's really a mindset about learning, about growing. And I like to say, yeah, we are always the best we can be at any time, and evolving constantly. So enjoying that. Enjoying
definitely.
life. Yes. Wonderful. So, would you like to share, because you are supporting leaders, um, one of your best story maybe about how you have been able to support someone, you know, moving from maybe a difficult situation to feeling better?
Sure. So there are there are many stories. I'm just thinking. Yeah, I think many women, you know, do not realize how much they work, and that's I have a preference of working with women leader because they are so ambitious and they have this, you know, FOMO factor. I don't want to miss anything, fear of missing out, and what women do not realize, and actually this customer of mine was also at the top of her game in Switzerland, is because she is still my client. And she was telling me, you know, family, and I don't have time for anything. And in the weekend, I just binge on Netflix. I should do more, and I have a social impact as well. I'm the president of some NGO, and I should be doing that. And she was also ambitious, you know, to go further in her career, to learn. And she started working with me because she wanted more work life balance. And then she was not actually, when I was looking at her life, I realized that she had nothing for herself in her life, nothing, absolutely nothing. And she felt like she was a big giver. She wanted to give all the time. She felt good about it. She was actually also a little bit addicted um, to receiving the attention of others, and to being in the center of everybody's life. But she was also being depleted because she didn't know how to ask for help. You know, she didn't know how to ask for help, and I think that's also one thing. And I just pointed out, first of all, you know, like, you're working more than 12 hours a day. It's absolutely normal to feel depleted of energy. And also, we women, actually, because we also are the designated caregiver in the household, we do not put this time with our kids, you know, administrative stuff. We don't for us is not is not taken into consideration like work time,
Mhm.
but actually it is. So women work more than men, much more than men. And in traditional societies, they really are the only one that takes care of everything. So they are the ones that have to do everything. So in Switzerland, in Germany, in Western Europe, women are more blessed because men have to share responsibilities, but not all the countries have the same. So yeah, at the end, after working for 3-4 months, she started to put things into, to she started to make these little changes, so these incremental changes, and start so she started also waking up early at 6, at 5 in the morning, and started to do journaling, to do meditation, and she was feeling more energized. And in the noon time, she was going out, eating some lunch with friends, with colleagues. She was not working overtime. She had the opportunity to also speak up in her organization and ask for help, which was something that she was absolutely afraid of. So yeah, these are just a few examples, but this example came to mind, and yeah, women should really, they are a special category, and it's really a pleasure to work with women leaders because they want it all. They are so ambitious, and I would like to hug them sometimes because I see how much effort they put and how much ambition is there, and we are living from, or we are starting the race from another position.
Mm.
And it's a different set of skills. It's a different way of, of being. A
Mm.
women leader, a woman has other leadership characteristic compared to men, and we should take advantage of these characteristics and
Mm.
really say, like, I'm a good woman leader because I am compassionate, because I am a better communicator, because all the people come first to me in the team.
Mhm.
And yeah, this is.
Very nice. So again, appreciating ourselves, okay? So we are all unique on this planet, and really this appreciation, starting with ourselves, learning about our needs, our values, what comes for us, and dedicate time for that first, so that we
Yeah,
can be really present for others, you know.
exactly.
And so we hug all of, and all the people listening, because you all deserve time for yourself and to take care about yourself. Okay, so this is really the, you know what came on the moment. And so that leads me, because I'm also looking at the time, and this,
Yeah.
it's time flies so quickly. So I like to ask you, yeah, actually, what are your priorities for this year? You shared your passion for the topic, and so would you like to share with us what's important for you this year?
This year in January, I have a habit to review my year, first of all, and or in December, I review my year, and in January, I make my vision board, totally new. And this year was the year of health, so that's my priority this year, to um, to get back on track with everything. So because of COVID, um, I didn't have the chance to move a lot, so my gym was closed and all this stuff. So I think everybody feels that as well. I started the yoga practice for the whole pandemic, so I did it at home, but I prefer to run in the nature. I didn't have a lot of chances to do that. It was also not the best of weather. So yeah, I want to just take care of myself this year. This is the main priority for me. So just to look at all these aspects, that I want to improve in my health and for myself. Yeah,
Wonderful
that's
program.
the main.
Yes, wonderful program. And that also leads me to, as we are approaching the end of this discussion, to ask you, okay, so to summarize all this nice discussion, what's the key message for people listening to us?
Yeah, I think the most important message is to choose one thing that they want to improve about themselves and realize, how they are feeling. So look into their body, into their emotions, into their heart, assess a little bit their psychological needs, their emotional needs, all these, needs that they have, and start putting themselves into their day. If it's not possible to start the day with themselves, I understand everybody has a different priority and a different program, and not everybody is a 5 a.m waker like me. um, but put yourself into your day, even if it's 1 minute of breathing and breaking that pattern of high stress, of high negative emotions. um, it's always space, it's always a possibility, no matter how small, to do something for ourselves. And it's normal, whatever they are feeling, that it's absolutely normal to be overwhelmed and to not be, to not be at our high as humanity in this moment. So it's this moment that we are feeling all these emotions. So it's absolutely normal to be overwhelmed, to feel stress, to feel fatigue. And it's important to, on the other hand, to recognize that and to just, embrace ourselves and do something for ourselves.
Okay. Wonderful. So embrace ourselves, be kind with yourself. Yeah, wonderful. Like
Yeah,
starting the day with yourself, ending the day with yourself, right? And catching up from time to time during the day.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I actually felt during this discussion, we did that, right? We connected with ourselves. So thank you so much for that. That was really very relaxing and full of insights. So
Thank
thank
you so much for creating this wonderful space. It was my first live, and I felt
you.
really generous. I felt I just stepped, into your room,
Mhm.
and I feel you like a very close friend. So that's wonderful that you can
Yeah,
create such an atmosphere. And
yeah.
you're a very generous person, Christine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was really a pleasure. As I said, I felt very connected and very relaxed. So that was wonderful. So thanks again, and let's see, yeah, what's next, for us. Let's things come to us in terms of ideas, collaboration, whatever comes to us. That's yeah, I feel it's only a start. Also for those listening, don't hesitate to connect to Hannah on LinkedIn and know more about all what she's doing, and check for yourself if you can get support there for sure. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Christine.
So I want to, as I do usually, to also tell you about what's next. Okay, so the day is not finished. So tonight I will be interviewed. So that's my turn. I will be interviewed by C.B. Bowman. She's the founder of the Association of Corporate Executive Coaches, and she will ask me a question I'm not aware of yet. That's how it works, right? So to share about my life, and my experiences, and whatever comes as well. So looking forward as well. So this is at 8 p.m. CET if you are interested, and Thursday morning at 8:30 a.m. CET, I will have the pleasure to interview André de la Fontaine. André is an expert in helping you to identify your so-called genius, and being fully yourself and really on aligned with your talent, and as to have a happy and very impactful life. And this will be the third of the series, and the focus will be on asking ourselves what prevents us to spend time on our genius. So also an important question. So that said, I wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you again, Anna, and I hope to see you soon online. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. All the best. Bye bye.